Marni Spencer Devlin here, best-selling author of Crawling into the Light and the creator of the Iceberg Principles, here to help you have better relationships, more health and vitality, and abundant living through conscious awareness. In this episode of Insights, I would like to discuss the number one reason people come to see me, and that is they wonder why they just can't seem to be happy. It takes them a while to come and see me because they feel sort of guilty about it. Because they have a good life. There's no major drama. There's nothing, one thing that they can actually put their finger on that would make them feel unhappy. Sure, they would love a closer relationship. Of course, maybe they'd love a little bit more energy and vitality. Maybe they'd like to make a little bit more money. But so does everybody, right? So they try to ignore the problem. But it just won't let them go. They're really starting to feel themselves get depressed and anxious and overwhelmed and looking forward to that glass of wine after work just a little bit too much. So they tried other ways of making themselves feel better. They made a gratitude list. Oy vey, made them feel even worse. There were so many things on that list, so many things to be grateful for, in the face of so many other people who don't have that much. Then why do they feel so overwhelmed, so overburdened, and just plain burnt out? They've tried self-help books, went to seminars, and it worked. For a few days or a few hours, they really felt better. But afterwards, they felt even more hopeless. By that time, usually the significant other pipes up. Why can't you just be happy? Why do you always have to go on with you? And you got a good life. You're just crazy. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not crazy. And you're not alone. There are actually 3 reasons why all those self-help techniques don't work that well. The first one is, you can't solve a problem from the level of the problem. Einstein said that. The other reason is that you can't really make changes to the subconscious mind. Oh, sure, you can change learned behaviors. The smaller, lesser synaptic connections, they can be changed. But the really deep ones, the old ones, the ones that really shape your beliefs and perceptions, those are permanent. And the third reason why all these self-help techniques don't work all that well is because in this universe in which we live, everything that we experience is a reflection of our own perception of our own beliefs. What we focus on grows. What you sow is what you reap. You can't reap something that you didn't sow. Duh. You can't keep focusing on the problem and expect to reap happiness. That's just not how this universe works. So what is it that you can do to make you finally really happy? You need to get out of your head and delve into consciousness. There's a couple ways to get out of your head. One of them is that glass of wine after work. Drinking helps us delve below consciousness. It helps us to get out of our head. But obviously that's not a permanent solution. I mean, we can't stay drunk all the time. But the other way to get out of our head is to delve into consciousness, into who we really are. The Iceberg Principles tell us that the physical being that we are, our body and our mind, really make up only 4% of who we are. 96% is presence, the presence within. Can you feel it? Can you feel your own presence? It's very subtle. You have to pay very close attention. It's non-dimensional. That's why your head can't help you with it. Your mind is only there for the physical world. But this is pure consciousness, pure energy. It's that little voice within you. I'm not talking about the big loud voice that berates you and tries to keep you small and scares you. That's the ego. I'm talking about the little voice within, the voice of intuition that always wants to guide you in the right direction. It always wants to steer you in the right way. It's that authentic self within you. See, you exist for a reason. You are here for a reason. And your gifts and your talents and your capacities are the tools that you are meant to use to play the role that you're meant to play. They are what qualify you to be who you are. But in order for that to happen, you need to know what your strengths are so that you can hone them and make them bigger. And you also need to know what your weaknesses are and what the things are that you don't like very much, and stop doing those. See, that's what makes you unhappy. You are doing too many of the things that you don't really like doing and not enough of the things that you're really meant to do. There are ways to focus in on that little voice and make it become louder and make it become clearer. A way to make friends with that authentic voice. And today I want to give you 2 techniques. The first, most obvious, most clear technique to make contact with the consciousness, the authenticity within you, is through meditation. Now, I teach a very powerful but very easy to learn technique that I want to share with you. If you put your email address in the box below, then I'll know where to send my ebook, Meditate, Discover the Giant Within. I want you to download that and read that. In a few days, I will send you the audio version of that book to really deepen your learning. And then I will send you 2 guided meditations to help you practice, become familiar with that authentic voice within. Those of you who have already received that book, I want you to finally print it out and read it. And look for future episodes of Insights of why the ego stops you from following through on things that you really want to do and what to do about it. The second technique that I want to share with you today to really get in touch with who you are is I want you to keep track from the moment you get up to the clothes you pick to the activities of your day. I want you to keep track of 2 things. I want you to keep track of which activities deaden you and which activities make you feel alive. For example, the clothes that you picked this morning, did you pick them because they made you feel good, or did you pick them because they were appropriate? See, you are meant to get in touch with yourself, to get to know yourself, but it's a process. But this is a really fun process. It'll make you feel better right away. There's this little part inside of you that delights when it's being heard. That's the authentic part of you, giving you a little glimpse of what life is meant to feel like. It's just this little twinge of impish delight that you feel. What if most of your life would feel that way? Wouldn't that be something? That's it for this episode of Insights. If you liked it, if it was helpful to you, then like it, share it, tweet it, and leave your comments below. I really want to know, what were the things that made you come alive? What were the things that deadened you? You do need to be aware of those as well. But what were the things that made you come alive? And then also, share with me topics that you'd like to see discussed in future episodes of Insights. That would be really helpful. Thank you again for watching, and then I will see you soon.